Hey guys, it's your girl Tina here. Welcome back to Tina Tries It. In today's episode, I'm going to be testing out one of Fenty Beauty's new launches, their powder foundation. For those of you who are watching my channel for the first time, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos I post. So Rihanna just announced that she'll be launching a new powder foundation in 50 shades. This is Fenty Beauty's latest launch. It's their Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation. The formula is supposed to be light as air and long wearing for perfect skin on the go. It's heat and sweat resistant, doesn't clog the pores or cake up, and it doesn't settle into fine lines either. This powder foundation is supposed to blur and cover imperfections in a few strokes for flawless soft matte skin. And it's going to be available at Sephora on the 26th of December. So I have here with me shade 210, which is what I use in the Pro Filt'r liquid foundation. Apparently you can just kind of match it from there or go up or down according to, how your skin tone is at that time. Here's a closer look at the packaging. It comes in a small white compact, very on brand with Fenty Beauty. When you open it, you can see that there's the powder foundation at the bottom. It comes with a mirror. And you can't really see this on camera properly, but there is a Fenty Beauty logo embossed on the powder. So this section can be flipped up, and underneath there's a little applicator sponge that you can use for touch-ups on the go. To me, it kind of feels very small compared to all my other powders. Like for example, my KVD Vegan Beauty Powder Foundation Compact. You can definitely see the size difference. This one's a lot chunkier, whereas this one is quite small, very compact. And let's just check the amount of product you get. Okay, so Fenty, you get 9.1 grams, and with my Locket powder foundation, there's 9 grams. So there's actually more product in the Fenty one than my other one. Also, I believe this is like one of the first brands that have come out with 50 shades of powder foundation. I did a quick search before, like the popular Makeup Forever foundation, they have 30 shades. KVD Vegan Beauty has, I think, 26 shades. So I feel like, Rihanna did it again. Of course, we expected that, she would come out with something that's very inclusive, that's boundary breaking. And just like she did with her Pro Filt'r, there's 50 shades that you guys can pick from. Now, honestly, I am not a huge powder foundation kind of girl. I reach for my powder foundations usually if I'm like on the go and I just want something quick, but usually I kind of would either go without makeup or apply my usual like liquid foundations or even like compacts or BB creams. I kind of go that route, but I'm interested to see how this Fenty Beauty powder foundation performs. Maybe it will convert me. I've already applied moisturizer, but I'm going to go in with a primer. I'm gonna stick with Fenty Beauty because obviously, they formulated their products to match all the other products. So let's just be safe, and I'm gonna use 2 of their primers, the Soft Silk, which is a hydrating one, and their True Matte, which is a mattifying primer. I'm gonna use 2 because I have combination skin, so I'm gonna apply the matte one in the center and T-zone and the hydrating one everywhere else. Now sometimes I skip primer if I'm doing if I'm using a cushion foundation or a liquid foundation because I feel like my moisturizer is enough sometimes. But I know that it's super important to prep your skin really well when using powder foundation, especially if you don't want that super powdery cakey finish. Okay, now that my skin's all prepped, I'm actually going to apply concealer and maybe a little bit of cream contouring underneath my powder because I don't want to be layering on top. I feel like sometimes people say you can do both, but for me, I usually apply all my cream and liquids first before powdering. So I'm just going to quickly apply my Fenty Pro Filt'r Concealer. This shade is 180. And I'm just gonna blend it out. And then I'm just gonna do a bit of contouring, just a little bit of cream contour. This is Amber. I thought I would just use the powder foundation how I would use it if I was kind of doing not a full glam, but well, let's just call it like a medium glam, because it's not gonna be like an everyday look. Every day I would just skip this. By the way, guys, I'm sweating right now. It is so hot in Singapore, whilst, you know, other parts of the world, I'm sure you guys are like snuggling up and getting cozy in your sweaters and coats. I'm yet to experience a white Christmas, so that's gonna be on my list. I'm looking a bit dirty, but it's okay. We're gonna go in with the foundation. So like you saw, the powder foundation has a little puff. I think this is okay for on the go, but I wouldn't really go in with this to apply my foundation. I'm gonna pick a brush. Now, depending on the coverage that you're after, if you want a full coverage, you'd wanna get a brush that's a bit more dense and kind of like tightly packed. If you want lighter coverage, you would go for something a little bit fluffier. So I've got two brushes here. This one is from Just Jep. This one is very, very, very dense. It's very packed and the bristles are very tight together. And this is the Fenty Beauty Face one. It's not as dense, but it's definitely not as like super fluffy as other ones. So I'm just gonna use the Just Jep one first. And I'm just going to work that into my powder. Okay, first thing I notice, there's actually a lot of, I guess like, would you call it fallout? Or there's lots of dust particles when I use my brush. Compared to like my other powder that I use, my KVD one, I don't get that much dust flying around. I don't know if you guys can see a huge difference, but up close, I can definitely see that it is giving me some coverage. It's not full coverage straight away. It's gonna be, this is a medium to full coverage, so I think you need to like layer it up if you want something a bit more high coverage. Okay, so here's a closer look at my skin. This is the side that I've applied the powder foundation to compared to this side. I can definitely see that this side is looking a lot more smoother, blurred, more even. I do feel like I need to blend it down to my neck because I think maybe this color is just a little bit dark for me, and maybe I would go for maybe 200 or even 190. But so far my first impressions is that it doesn't look powdery, if you know what I mean. It doesn't give me that like dry, cakey look. My skin looks more even, but you can't tell that I've just used powder foundation, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna apply this side with the Fenty face brush, and let's just see. And now when I'm picking up the product, because I know there's gonna be a lot of like dust kicking up, I'm just gonna press it. You can see I have a little bit of redness here. Let's just see if it covers up. It does hide that redness. When I do apply a powder foundation, I like to really work it into my skin and kind of buff it. I actually feel like this brush does a better job than the other one just because the size is a little bit bigger. Okay, so far I'm quite happy with how my skin is looking. I'm just gonna quickly finish the rest of my makeup. So I'm done with the rest of my makeup. I thought I would make it a little bit bright with blue under my eyes, pop some Petite Cosmetic lashes on. This style is called Lavish. And for lips, I just kept with like a nude natural lip. So far my skin is looking pretty good. Honestly, you can't tell that I'm wearing like powder foundation. It just looks like I'm wearing a matte foundation. My skin is looking pretty smooth, a bit blurred out, so you can't really see my pores. Now, comparing to how the foundation looks in the pan versus on my skin, I feel like it definitely does look darker. So just keep that in mind when you're picking out your foundation shades. Go with your Pro Filt'r shades and maybe go up or down from there. Don't, go off the pan because it does translate different on the skin. I'm actually really feeling this look, guys. Too bad I have nowhere special to go. I'll be wearing a mask for probably most of the day, so we'll see how it transfers or if it does transfer or not. But first impressions, I feel like it's pretty easy to apply, gives me a really nice flawless finish, doesn't look cakey, doesn't emphasize any like large pores or dryness, as long as you prep your skin well. So I'm gonna keep this on for the rest of the day and then I'll check back in with you guys later. I'm at my studio now so I can take my mask off. Oh, there's only a little bit of transfer around the nose area, and that's probably because I always pinch that nose part on the mask. Not much transfer. Okay, so it's been about 12 hours since I've applied my foundation. This is what my skin is looking like. Throughout the day, I did wear my mask, and honestly, it didn't transfer that much on here, mainly around the nose and a little bit around like the cheek area. Looking at it up close, I can see that I am definitely a little bit shinier, which is normal. I don't hate that. But it doesn't look like I'm wearing powder foundation. Pretty much like the top half of my face is still looking pretty good. Around my nose, I can see that it's kind of rubbed off around my mouth because I was eating. Now throughout the day, I did not touch up at all, and honestly, my base is looking pretty good. I feel like maybe this even looks better than when I apply liquid foundation, especially because Singapore's so hot, right? And so I feel like, I don't know, powder foundation might be my new go-to, guys. Doesn't transfer as much. It's really quick and easy to apply. Plus you still get that coverage. It still blurs your skin out. And just say if I wanted to touch up now and like de-shine this, it's actually quite easy, right? Let me just like apply a little bit of powder and show you guys. Actually, I quite like how this is applying with a Beauty Blender sponge. Honestly, this side looks so good. It looks like I just applied my makeup. This side, obviously, you can tell that it's a little bit more shiny, but it's just so quick to touch up this side. Wow. I think I'm definitely converted, guys. Overall, my first impressions of the Pro Filt'r powder foundation is really good. I actually really like it. I would highly recommend it to those of you who have more like combination or even like normal skin. I feel like you guys can use it as long as you prep your face really well with like primers and hydrating products. If you have very dry, generally I wouldn't recommend too much powder, but you know, give it a go. I think if you prep your skin really well, it shouldn't be a big issue. If you have oily skin, you are gonna love this. Or if you live somewhere that's hot and humid, place like Singapore, and you want your makeup to last longer, I highly recommend this. I think now is a great time to use a powder foundation because of, you know, we're wearing masks all day and we want to be setting our makeup. So I definitely think that Fenty Beauty launching this is a great idea and a great time to have a product like this. Anyways, that is it to this episode of Tina Tries It. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're new here so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And I shall speak to you guys next time. Bye. Wow, like look, there is no creasing even under my eyes. It's so good. I can touch my face and not worry.